Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Cruiser 345 BH fifth wheel. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, you're going to have a slide as well as an awning to leave room for. On your off campsite, of course, leave room for your slides, but I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power cord is going to be all the way at the rear of the unit on your driver's side of your tow vehicle or off camp side of the unit, and then your docking station is actually all the way toward the front. So have yourself a long water hose as well. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, we'll go ahead and level our unit. Alright, we've got this IntelliJack system here. This is going to run up and down, it just means it's connected. We're going to hit connect, and then we're going to move the unit up or down to get your vehicle out from underneath it. Once you got your vehicle disconnected and pulled away, you're just going to touch auto level. And that's going to go ahead and bring up or down your landing legs to level the unit. I was pretty close to it, so it already leveled. Once you start flashing like this again, you're already auto leveled up front. Then you're going to have to come back here and manually put down your stabilizing jacks. I am going to recommend some jack pads. Throw those down underneath these. That'll protect them from dirt and debris and keep the hot blacktop, keep them from sinking into the hot blacktop in the summer. Get 2-pack of those from the store, or a 4-pack. You want to put them underneath the landing legs up front. Put them down and hit extend on these until they run down. Now remember, these are stabilizing jacks. Our unit's already level, so we're just going to run these down until they're taut. Once it starts to feel like it's going to lift the unit, you're going to stop. We don't want to change the levelness, we just want to stabilize it. We'll go ahead and get these ran all the way down. Older unit, older components on it. Don't work quite as quick as the ones nowadays do, but serves the purpose. Bam! Got our unit level and stable. Now we can hook up our power and water. Again, your 50 amp cords back here in the corner, about 30 foot long. That'll plug in here and they'll twist to turn and then lock that on with your black washer. Now, should you need to plug into a 30 amp at a campsite, there's a 50 to 30 amp reducer. Comes with your convenience pack as well as a 30 to 15 amp in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. So your docking station's up front. Side the storage here. Off to the right. Campsites we're going to hook up to a city water connection. First, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up, hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Come right out here to your hot water heater. And all we're doing at this point, making sure our drain plug's on. Get that in there nice and snug, a little plumber's tape around it. Not putty, putty will gum up on you. So plumber's tape, get that in there nice and snug, then you can turn that hose on. Now if that hose has been on for a few minutes, we can go inside, open up our slides, get into our bathrooms and our sinks in the kitchen and open them up. Get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them, shut them off and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water, we're going to go dry camping with this. In that case, you'll fill up your freshwater tank, which is in between your slides here. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One is the overflow valve right here, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it up. Don't leave it unattended. Once it's full, we'll go ahead and remove that hose, and then whenever we want to utilize this water, we'll use our water pump. Show you where to turn that on when we get inside. All right, we're all set to camp with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing over here on the off camp side. Come back up front to our propane tanks. Simply lefty-loosey to open those. Point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Got an outdoor griddle that comes with this, leveling system and light. We'll talk about these when leaving the campsite, but here's what our dumps for black and gray tanks. Here's where you plug in your satellite or cable at the campsites. An outdoor shower, hot and cold. City water connection. This is your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our tanks. And then your low point drains, which will drain when leaving the campsite. Big pass-through storage here. Again, our hot water heater. There's where we'll dump our sewage tanks. Again, remember your fresh water between the slides. There's a vent, hood vent for your cooking top. A couple access panels to the back of your fridge for technicians. Through that hole right there, you can get inside here and get these up and down manually should you lose power. Again, our stabilizing system. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof, and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. There's where your griddle is set. Should have a quick connect LP right there. Come around to our off campsite. I will mention real quick on your slides, you got quite a few of them. You want to keep these nice and pliable and flexible. There is a spray that you can spray on these a couple times a year to keep them from dry rotting. That'll really add to the longevity of the life of those. Put your awning out here. Over on our campsite. Just remember, awnings are mainly for shade. They are okay in a light rain, but recommend to bring in rain or high winds. Over on your campsite, you got a couple of 110s. This is the flue for your furnace. A few things on that. One, make sure nothing's ever blocking it. Two, steer clear of it when it's running. It does get hot, but it'll also give you, on a chilly night, a little bit of heat up underneath your awning area here. And lastly, they do make bug guards for those that you can purchase from our store to keep bugs from out of there. For stabilizing jack overrides, there's a 4-way for your spare tire. A couple more 110s up here. A porch light up front here. This is just a vent for your batteries. Your battery disconnect. Your spare tire. Another docking light. Another vent. And that about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up inside unit. The first thing I would like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Straight ahead over here is going to be your breaker box and fuses. Ton of 15s in there. I highly recommend you have some of those with you when you go camping. This is your carbon monoxide propane detector. From the carbon monoxide detector, we're going to come up here and open up this to see our control panel. Alright, our control panel here. You've got, check the level of your battery, fresh tank, black and gray tanks. Over here is where you can turn on a heating pad for your tanks. This little 12-volt pad you turn on to heat your tanks in case you think you're going to be in inclement weather and they might freeze. Here's where you turn on your water heater if hooked to gas. Here's where you turn on your water heater if hooked to electric. It does make a difference. Here's where you can turn on your water pump if you're utilizing your fresh water. These are all lights. And down here are our slides. Already tabled for you, marked for you. Straight up above here is your max air vent. You just hit on, and that is gonna turn on your max air vent here. And then you can open and close it. Low speed open. That's faster. That's slower. Nice system. Over here is your 110 with GFCI reset. Kitchen area here. I want to talk about plumbing. If you travel a lot in this, you're bouncing a house up and down the roads. Keep an eye on your plumbing. Make sure nothing bounces loose going down the road. Keep an eye on things. Maintain it more than you would your home if you travel a lot in it. We've got our self-explanatory microwave. Got a light and fan above our cooktop that folds back and makes a nice little backsplash. And then what you do is you hit that to light, hit your spark, and your gas is on, and that'll light up there. Your oven, you'll have to manually get in there and light your pilot light. Fridge, North codes are pretty easy. Turn that on auto, means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you'll go to your gas. Switch over to gas only. If this starts flashing, your gas is low. 1 through 5, 5 being the coldest. Television, your remote here, and get that on. I recommend when you get to the campsite, go into your menu, run a digital channel scan so that you can pick up all the local channels at the campsite. So we got our sound system and our fireplace. That's more than just looks. You can crank the heater up on this. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, this will get it hot in here. All right, let's go ahead and set up our tables. These will sit down in there, turn to the right, and that will lock them on. Set that table up top. Gives you a little eating area. You must remove that in order for that slide to come in when you're done. Go ahead and set up your sofa into a bed. So remove your cushions. This will lift up, pull out towards you. Put your legs down. Put your back cushion down. Just that quickly, you got another sleeping cord. Just when you're putting things back, make sure you lift the back up first. Otherwise, you will damage your sofa. That up. Stand in the middle gives you good leverage here. Strap there to hold to open that up. Cushions on the back, and just that quickly you're back to a sofa. Heading up the hallway now. Got our bunk room here. Just make sure that you get in here and shut off our lighting and close these doors all the way before bringing the slide in. Up the hallway is your thermostat. Go ahead and crank the air up. Did you hear that running? Shut the air off. You hear that shuts off rather quickly. Now I'm going to turn the heat on. You hear that kick on up in here. Now you notice when I shut that off, it does take a few minutes for that to cycle through before it shuts off. Coming up into our bathroom. I want to mention, you want to make sure you have these glass doors stacked open for travel. You've got a 110 with GFCI reset. Another max air vent for in here. Brings us into our bedroom. Another door to make sure you snap open for travel. Storage under your bed. And you are prepped for a washer and dryer. Just remove these shelves, put your washer and dryer in there. Okay, so let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. Start back here in the bedroom. Shut off our lighting. Be sure those doors were secure, that our max air vents are closed. Alright, let's start by going to my control panel and shutting off my lights. Then I can see any other lights that are on are all individual accent lights that I need to walk through the unit and shut off. Now that them are all off, I can turn on my living room lights. And say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede our slides from coming in. Put our table away. Make sure all max air vents are closed. Doors are the way we need them. We're going to do slide number 1 last because that's going to be seal us in here. So let's start with our bunk room. Just put in. We know everything's closed in there. Safe to bring everything in. You'll be able to hear that one once it's closed. Except above your control panel is somebody left all the paperwork in that, which is nice on a used unit. Fridge slide. See the importance of making sure all these doors are all the way closed. These slides utilize every inch they can. Former owner has marked all this for you. Once that's in, gonna step to the side here, reach around the corner, and bring in slide number 1. This is gonna be our campsite here. See, that's gonna seal that off. So you wanna get inside here and just reach around the corner to get to number 1. Slides in, shut the living room light off, and exit the unit. If we are out dry camping, we're going to come over to our off camp side. Freshwater tank is here. In between these tires is going to be a freshwater tank drain. So get up underneath there, dump that. Bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we're going to hook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be halfway in between the front of the unit and your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Got 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up, get up in here, and pull your black tank, your sewage tank. Once it sounds like that's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it's empty or close to it, come back out here, leave this handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up to this flush tank. Again, emphasizing with this handle open, turn that hose on for good 5 minutes and let that wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose, make sure all that washout you put in there is drained, close your black tank, and pull your first gray. Usually when my grays are draining, I'll get up underneath here and dump my low point drains, point them up and down, that'll drain them right through here. When that first gray is done, I'll go ahead and close that and pull my second gray. Usually when my last grays are done, if we're done camping for a while, you don't want to leave stagnant water in your hot water heater. Get in here, lift up on this pressure relief valve. Be careful because hot water will come out. Close that down, otherwise your door won't close. And then pull your drain for your residual hot water. When that last gray is done, we'll close that up, unhook our sewage hose, and conveniently, and more importantly sanitarily, store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this cruiser for many years to come. Happy camping.